A lot of injury concerns, maybe a little bit too many concerns. Big award for a Texans player, plus CJ Stroud will speak. Let's go inside the locker room. We're a couple days away from the elimination game against the Colts.
Yeah. Yeah. It's the locker room on YouTube. You know what it is. Let's get it. Hey. Locker room.
All right, so we got a game in a couple of days. It's kind of weird. The biological clock over the course of an NFL season, you get somewhat routine. In other words, Monday, we know that D'Amico's going to talk. He's going to react to what happened. We're going to react to what happened, but they're not going to have practice. Then Tuesday, they're going to come back. More guys are going to be on the injury report than we'd expect. And then now we've kind of gotten a grasp that Wednesdays are kind of the vet days. And then, of course, Thursdays, Fridays. But when you're playing on Saturday night, your whole clock is at least a day off, which is why typically the Wednesday injury report is something you roll your eyes at. And there are some people who are freaking out by it now because you think you look at it as more of a Thursday report. I don't think that's the case. I don't think they're throwing off guys' routines and having them practice a day earlier than they are, specifically the ones who typically have these veteran days off. So let's take a look at this Texans injury report. The guys who didn't practice today. Appreciate everyone for coming through. It is the locker room #1 source for Texans daily digital content. So Will Anderson did not practice. Fully expect Will Anderson to play. I would actually bet, yes, he'll be on the field in some capacity. Played 12 snaps last game, but Will Anderson's going to play. Andrew Beck with the calf, not sure. I don't know how he's feeling. I don't know what's up with Andrew Beck. You start talking soft tissue, all that. We might see more Brevin Jordan in the backfield. So Andrew Beck, we'll see. Noah Brown with the back. I don't know what to make of the Noah Brown situation. Look, he's been in and out all year long. I'll say this is just old man talking. Back does not seem like something you battle through. I think all these injuries you can battle through. Back, if your back's jacked up, I don't know, especially if you're a wide receiver that's as physical as Noah Brown. Even if you feel like you can gut it out on game day, that kind of seems like something that, can act up very quickly. Malik Collins' hip, I would think he would try to battle it out, but don't have a great grasp of that. Grenard, I think Grenard will try to go. Now, will he be in like a limited role like Will Anderson? Don't know, but I think Grenard will try to figure something out. Rankins, I would bet a lot on Rankins being out there. My reasoning for that is you saw him play last game, and he was also on the post-game show on 610. If he was really, really hurt, they wouldn't have had him in that situation. They typically don't let guys that are really, really hurt talk afterwards. So I think Rankins will be fine. He'll be on the field. Woods has been I don't think Woods has practiced a Wednesday this year. Maybe once, but I would maybe take the under in that. And then you have Tunsil back on the practice field. So Laramie Tunsil is practicing today, which is the first time he's practiced in a Wednesday in a while. We look at the injury report though. I think tomorrow's is going to be very, very key. We'll be live on the air, Sports Radio 610, the Twitch, the Odyssey app. So join us there. We'll have the live updates. But really it's about, you got two key receivers. I think you're going to have Woods. And then the D line, you're going to need a little bit more on the D line, although some of these guys have kind of stepped up. Speaking of Laramie Tunsil, he is a Pro Bowler. So there you go with Laramie Tunsil, Pro Bowl. I think Laramie Tunsil does a good job. I think he's fine. We've seen them win some games without Laramie Tunsil, some big ones, some of their biggest wins of the year. I'm not going to be someone that pretends that Laramie Tunsil deserves to be an all pro or pro. I don't know. I watch I pay extra close attention to one offensive line in the NFL. And then the other ones, hey, if I see this one often or someone said, there you go. I think it's actually been kind of weird, like on Texans Twitter. Shout out to Texans Twitter. I'm not saying this like disrespectfully or anything like that, but I thought it was weird how all of a sudden everyone became like a left tackle expert. Like Laremy Tunsil should have been an All Pro last year. All that I don't follow it close enough, and I don't know. I think it's a little bit crazy. The Flash is upset that Mahomes got in the Pro Bowl over CJ. I mean, you know what the deal is. The one thing I'll say is I think a lot of these quarterbacks are gonna have games. Maybe CJ will or won't. But yeah, as far as the actual quality of the season, I think it goes without saying that Patrick Mahomes just got in there based on reputation. The Flash says Sauce getting in with no Stingley over Stingley makes no sense. I saw a really good interaction on Twitter today because I think the Sauce and Stingley stuff can get really it can get kind of exhausting at times because New York Jets fans naturally are a little bit exhausting. But I will say I thought this was cool by I want to give him his props. Nesta Graphics, who does a good job doing a lot of stuff. So someone said to him, I'll pull up this interaction. Someone said to him, Stingley has allowed more yards and more TD despite playing in significantly less games. Hard to get INTs when you're rarely getting targeted. So talking about Derek Stingley gets targeted more, and that's why he's getting interceptions over Sauce Gardner. Nesta Graphics pointed out that Derek Stingley has 10 snaps per target. Sauce Gardner has 10.2. Stingley has 17.2 snaps per reception. Gardner has 17.6 snaps per reception. Stingley has 5 INTs. Gardner has 0. So his point, and I think this is what separates a good point and like someone just being kind of a jackass, and this is why I liked it. He said, quit with the tired narrative about not getting targeted. Sauce just isn't a ball hawk, and that's fine. He's still elite. So he's still giving him his flowers. Stop trying to discredit Stingley like he's getting thrown at LMAO. They get targeted the exact same, except one guy can catch. Both are shutdown guys that don't allow separation, but one is a ball hawk while the other is a smother that plays the receiver rather than the ball. I think that's very, very good analysis right there. And I think that's a really, really awesome breakdown by him at Nesta Graphics on Twitter. I just wanted to give him credit because I thought that was very, very well said for sure. And an argument that can be really exhausting if you partake. Biggest concern this week. What is your biggest concern for this game between the Texans and Colts? Because mine is really, I have 2 concerns, and they're not like significant concerns. If y'all are on this channel, y'all know sometimes I'm probably overconfident. Sometimes I'm probably too worried when it comes to the Texans getting a dub. By the way, be sure to subscribe, like, right along. Appreciate everyone for coming through. But my biggest concern is, number one, I think Jonathan Taylor can be a problem. I know he hasn't been great, and I know the Texans have done a pretty good job stopping the run. I just think between Shane Steichen's ability to scheme and Jonathan Taylor's just overall ability, I think he could be a real problem. I think he could be like kind of a difference maker in like a grinded out type of game, where it just takes like one run to get loose. So I have a healthy fear of Jonathan Taylor. I have a healthy respect for Shane Steichen. I think Shane Steichen does a really good job. I think him and D'Amico, 2 of the 3 best coaching jobs of the season. And you could put them anywhere 1 through 3 and lay out a good case. So, I'm not discounting what he's done. He'd probably be right now above D'Amico on the ballot just because I think the CJ thing, I know that we didn't expect him to be what he's being, but I do think it's easier to win with CJ than Gardner. But again, could hear either one. And if D'Amico wins this week, then put him up there. My vote would go for Stefanski. But back to the concerns. My other concern outside of Jonathan Taylor, and I see a lot of you are talking about the run as well. I'm not scared of Gardner Minshew. Pedro says you can't let Minshew torch us. While situationally Minshew did his thing, and there were times where you thought the Texans might be getting some momentum, and he handled his business the last time they faced. First of all, they didn't prepare for Minshew. They were preparing for Anthony Richardson, and that is a unique form of preparation. They were not preparing for Gardner Minshew. Second of all, the Colts had a 14-0 lead in that game, if you remember, because the strip sack and then the Richardson touchdown. So Minshew does not concern. I'm not worried about Gardner Minshew. I'm really not. Maybe those are famous last words. I know he's proven a lot of guys wrong, but like as far as top concerns, I'm not worried about Gardner Minshew slicing up the Texans. That's just not. I'm not there. I'm worried about the secondary's ability to prevent the big play, because some of the and not even the corners. I'm talking about the Petrie and coverage. I mean, we're less than 2 weeks from Jalen Petrie getting benched in that Browns game, and I know like the Tennessee game was better. Tennessee actually took a shot early that could have easily, like if it were better executed, Treylon Burks, that could have been Tennessee getting off to a big start as well. And the thing about Jalen Petrie is the mistakes that he makes, they cost you games. They cost you playoff games. Like when we're talking about 50-yard bombs, 60-yard bombs, all that, especially if they are going to run the ball, because I do think now maybe you're leaving Stingley on an island and you're leaving Nelson on an island, which I would feel a little bit more comfortable with. But if you're going to be running this cover two, all that type of stuff, Petrie's got to be there, and you don't have Jimmy Ward to kind of cancel it out. So I would love nothing more than Jalen Petrie to come out and have the game of his season. And quite frankly, Indianapolis is not that. Michael Pittman Jr. is a good receiver, but Indianapolis is not a terrifying receiving corps. Now, they do have a coach that studies stuff out, and they do have a coach that can take advantage, but that's my biggest concern. Now, I don't want to get ahead of ourselves because it's a big game, but dude, if the Texans play the Bills or they play the Dolphins, and let's say the Dolphins have their receivers, man, Petrie, we already saw him kind of against the Ravens. Man, that would be very, 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 very terrifying for sure. That would be very, very terrifying for sure. As far as the money, if we're following the money right now is the Texans are favored by 1.5. It started out with the Colts favored by 1.5, but now you have the Texans favored by 1.5. We'll hear from CJ Stroud in a sec. Let's get into some of the comments. I think someone was a little bit fired up. Blue Ash. I don't know what the hell that profile pic is. Why the hell aren't we talking about Nelson here? Nelson is always the cornerback on these wide receivers during the plays off. Was Petrie even on Burks on that play? Look, a lot of times it looks like it's supposed to be Nelson, but the safety's supposed to be over the top. D'Amico doesn't just bench you for no reason. The other thing is, yes, like there might be times where Nelson maybe will get burned, maybe Stingley will get burned, but the part of the reason why it makes more sense to put those guys on islands, maybe if D'Amico wants to, is because Petrie is such a liability. That's a Kanye cover. Okay. All right. I did not know that. So there we go. Yes, today's practice was a walkthrough. Let's hear from CJ Stroud. CJ Stroud met with the media types. They've really been trying to push this. You guys have shocked the world. Like, what was the moment where you knew like something was going on? Like yada yada. I feel like if y'all watched the press conferences in this I guess we'll call it a chat, whatever the hell we want to call it. In this stream, y'all watch these all year. Like, it seems like they've been getting talked to like they've won the division when they won their 4th game, when they won their 5th, when they won their 6th, when they won their 7th, when they won their 8th. They really haven't accomplished anything yet. It's been a nice season, but let's hear from CJ Stroud getting ready for this game on Saturday night.
CJ, how much do you feel like you've grown since the first meeting with the Colts?
I think I've grown a lot in a lot of different places. I think our team has grown as a whole. I think we've put a multitude of games together to make our team really kind of stick like glue. Like we've come into a great situation of like now we're starting to pick up our chemistry better than ever. So it's like night and day from week 2 to now. So
you've played in a lot of big games in your life. What's your approach in regards to either talking about the magnitude of it and taking it head on, or just business as usual? It doesn't matter.
Yeah, I really feel. I mean, yeah, you just gotta keep it. It is what it is. Like. You don't want to make it too high. You don't want to make it too low. It's just a regular game. Since I told my teammates earlier, like it's the same game we've been playing since we've been young, So nothing changes. Got to just prepare hard and do everything that we need to do to try to win this game. And I think that'll take us home. But trying to make it too big, that'll like psych you out and make you nervous and stuff. So I just believe in staying even kill.
CJ, the camaraderie in the locker room, how have you seen that grow? And how would you describe kind of the relationships you guys have built?
Yeah, we've built a lot of strong relationships this year. A lot of guys coming in and coming out. And like the core group of guys, we've really gotten close and then invited those new guys in with open arms. I think our front office has done a great job of bringing guys in who like to be in the locker room. And we have really all of our players, I feel, are really comfortable around each other. We all have great conversation and things like that. So it's been great to get to know these new group of teammates and brothers that I have, and we're closer than ever.
CJ, what have you seen from the defensive front seven, especially from linebackers, Larry Franklin?
Yeah, I think their defense really is a really good defense. Of course, up front with 99 and 90, 2 really good players. Of course, and Zaire Franklin is a good backer. He flies around. I think he has the most tackles in the league right now. So he's doing a good job of getting guys on the ground and stuff. So got to just be on our A game with everything and do us as best as we can. I'm really excited for this matchup.
So I had a question about that when CJ says that, and I want to ask y'all. Y'all tell me, because I don't necessarily have the answer. I follow this team closer than 99.9% of the people in the world. What is us when it comes to the Houston Texans? Like, what is us? What are the Texans? What are the 2023 Houston Texans? Because I'm excited about what they can be. Hell, I'm excited about what they can do this Saturday, and maybe we're in for a fun ride. But what is us? I want y'all to put that in the comments. What is us? He says we got to be us.
Was there anything in a particular moment, like training camp, preseason, where you guys knew, okay, we could be something special this year?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like just a group of guys that we put together had a winning mindset from the beginning, and I really feel like it wasn't ever in my mind. I was like, man, I'm going out there to lose, or to not to lose, but to like try to win. Like, nah, we're going out to win. Like that's the mindset I think everybody in our locker room has. So it really was early on, like probably even like in rookie mini camp, being with the rookies. That's when my confidence started to build up. So it's been good because we've actually been able to win games, and it's never about what everybody else says, about what we put on the field. We're the ones that control. Everybody else just watches, but it is what it is. And I think we built something special, but we got to just finish.
What's the balance from, week 2, you guys played on week 2, you guys are a much different team now, but, just looking at some of the stuff that worked there versus just kind of focusing on how the Colts have looked in the past, month. What's kind of that balance of self-scouting against them versus what they've done recently?
Yeah, I mean, week 2 from now is you have 2 different football teams, like they're a different team, we're a different team. And you got to kind of plan for what they've been doing, lately, not more so what they did against us. Of course, you got to watch it and look because that's good background, just to see how guys play, how they move around, and stuff like that. But I feel like you definitely got to be able to throw that stuff away and look to like the last couple of games they played and really lock into what they're doing now. And they're a really special team. Like, they've done a lot of great things, and it's going to be a good matchup.
TJ, you're talking about the relationships that you built. Why is that so important? Maybe particularly inside this locker room. It seems like that is especially cohesive inside the locker room. You guys trust one another, all those things. Why is that so important to the product that you put on the field?
Yeah, I think like for the guys who've been places that have won a lot of games, like myself, I mean, the closest teams I've been on were the best teams. And it's something that happens natural. Like, you can't force it. Then it's just unauthentic, and everybody's just kind of like just not being themselves, and that's not what you want. But like other guys like LT, Shaq Mason, really all the guys, Jimmy Ward, like whenever they get up and talk, they really talk about how the closest teams were the best teams they've ever been on. So that's something that was big for us in the beginning, and we built that naturally, and D'Amico also says the same thing, and that's really probably why we're so close. Winning, too.
You mentioned Sunday that you felt like probably the area you've grown most is taking what the defense gives you when they take away the defense. Like, what might have been an example earlier that you might not have had that same growth?
We were playing, actually it was the Colts, week 2, and we were probably plus 25, around 25, 30-yard line, and we called like a, not really a shot, but like a 4 vertical look. And they did a good job by carrying the safeties with the vertical seams, and I had Metch, or no, I was looking to the right and I went left, and I had Metch in the flat, and I didn't take it, and I tried to hit the check. The check down was there too. I didn't take it, and I ran. I got hit, and I threw it away. I took an extra hit for no reason, So in this past game, we had a shot play. They went Tampa 2. And I seen it was taken away, and I threw it to DP. He made a good catch, and like that's just growth right there, just knowing not to take hits when you don't need to, and just getting the ball at your hand, helping your O-line out, So that's like an example of me growing in that type of area.
TJ, I know you've been in a lot of big games, but where would you rank this game? You're playing for a chance to go to the playoffs on national television in your first primetime game in the NFL.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm ready to have fun. I think, like I was saying earlier, it's just go be myself. Go be ourselves. Go just put it on the field, and there's nothing to lose. There's a lot to lose, but in my mindset, there's nothing to lose. Like, what are you gonna go out there and we really just gonna go out there with confidence. Like, that was the main thing we talked about today, being relentless in every single thing that we do, and what's the worst that can happen? By playing hard and playing fast. So we don't doubt ourselves. We really think we can win this game, and that's the plan. So we'll go out there and just execute.
In your career, the biggest game you've been a part of, like the Georgia game or the Rose Bowl game, obviously this is probably the biggest game so far in your rookie year. But like the biggest game, you've always been able to play at your absolute best. What is about those type of moments that's brought the best out of you?
I think, like I said, just being myself. Just not making the moment bigger than what it is, and just going out there and having fun. Like, this game is meant to be fun, so that's what I plan to do. Not be in the eggshell or be nervous. Like, of course, they're gonna be I have natural nerves every game, but I just think those are probably the reason why I just really just lock into my preparation and things like that.
Last one, Sarge. See, at this point of your career, it seems like adding rookie to you is just semantically speaking, just because of the number of years you've been in the NFL. When you go into the quarterback room, you have Davis in there, you have Casey in there, you have Bobby in there, Gerard in there. How much input do you have now, and how much do they look towards you to say, what is the game plan you want to have?
Yeah, we have a good mixture of just conversation and input that we get to put in there for the game plan and stuff. And I've been trying to get more in and things like that. And it's just a conversation, going between the quarterback room and Bobby and stuff like that. So it's been a lot more just just the trust factor that I've been able to protect the ball really well and things like that, and that's really big, going into your first year. I feel like really for everybody, like from year 1 to year 15, whatever that is, like protecting the ball puts trust into your coordinator that he can call a play, and if it's not there, you'll be smart with it and not make a bad play worse or whatever. So it's been good. I've been able to ask for certain things and get certain looks and do different stuff. So it's been good, and hopefully just keep building that. Yeah. How's yours?
All right, there you go. Look, let's just be serious. Like this game, it's big. When we get in the playoffs, it'll likely be different. Not nearly as much pressure going against Michigan, which he didn't have the success at. Not near as much pressure as going against Georgia. The Ohio State media, there's 40 people there, and I don't who knows what the hell they're asking. So walking around campus at Ohio State, it's psychotic. So we'll see what it looks like. I think the thing that you can hang your hat on is that you have the quarterback advantage. Rock wants positive stuff about the wide receiver core. I don't. All right, positive. We've seen Noah Brown be a big time performer in situations like this when you need him the most. Go back to that stretch with Cincinnati when Noah Brown was there. Go to the Tennessee game. Whenever it's a road game and you need to scrap, Noah Brown is there. If he's on the field, I anticipate him toughing it out. I actually think they're setting something up with Xavier Hutchinson. I feel like Xavier Hutchinson is going to make a big play in this game. He's been on the field. They've been moving him around a little bit. I think he's going to make a good play. I think that Nico is ready for this as well. But it's all going to come down to health, and that's why tomorrow is going to be such a big day from 10 to 2. Sports Radio 610, Odyssey. I was sitting even like a shameless plug. This is just a fact. We got to see what that injury report looks like. Gonna get a exclusive interview off the field as well. Blue Ash bringing up Mechie. Okay. I mean, I don't see much from Mechie at this point. I don't know that he's ready to really produce in a big game. They're giving him opportunities. So we'll see. Whether or not Noah Brown plays or not, we'll see. But if he's on the field, he'll be ready to go. The back though is effed up. But you have Robert Woods. He's been in this situation. He was in the same situation last year. Robert Woods, win or go home. They were on the wrong side of it. Maybe his experience helps. I do anticipate that Woods will try to go. And then you got the other guys. So yeah, not great, but we will see. We will see how the whole thing goes down, and be sure to ride along tomorrow. And always remember, when it comes to this Texan stuff, we're all in it together. Thanks for coming through.
You know what it is. Let's get it. Hey, locker room. Yeah, we in the locker room. Texas talk. Yeah, you know what we about to do. Localize every angle's what we really do. We the source. We the pulse of the city too. Landlocked. Got the game in the headlock.